All right, hello friends. I'm gonna try to get out of here. I want to talk about something real quick. Ooh, it's a bit windy out here. All right, well, yeah, the camper. I mean, we've talked about this. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the vehicle. More specifically, I want to talk about why I chose a box truck. Now, something about this box truck, just preliminary. This is a 2011 Isuzu NQR with a 14-foot dry box. This has a diesel engine and it's got a 133-inch wheelbase. The box was made by Supreme. It is a box not made by the Isuzu company, but made by an outside third party. You can get trucks with a Morgan box, or other different companies make boxes, but the box and the truck are not made at the same place. Usually these boxes are put on later by the distributor, the dealers. Whoever's selling this truck is usually selling it with some type of body on the back of it. So the box and the body of what I meant to say was, the box is what you would call the body, but the body and the cab were not made at the same time at the same place. They didn't get built together. They got put together afterwards. And that's an important thing, because what you get with a box truck, now mind you, everybody has like different ideas about what type of platform they want to build on, whether it's going to be a van, a Sprinter van, or any of the comparable types, like, whatever they are, ProMaster, all that, or, something like an older Chevy or Dodge van. People do box, like box vans. I call them cube vans. It's basically the same type of box put on a van, where it's just the van nose. And those, I guess, those are titled as trucks because there's no seating in the back, and it's basically a commercial vehicle. So it's not necessarily a van, it's more of a truck, but it's basically just for trucking. Yeah, those are different than these. The reason these are different is because, as you can see, there is a good little bit of space in between that cab and the body. They are not connected. So you gain something, but you also lose something, and that's that connectivity between the driving area and the living area. Mind you, there is a such thing as a crawl through. You can build a connecting, you can do the crawl through if you want. It's a little bit of a task because you can't make it fixed and permanent. The cab fully tilts forward to access the engine, which is a pretty interesting, easy to work on feature. But the feature that's most important in what I'm saying, and the one difference in this type of vehicle from all the other popular ones, like vans and pickups and buses and all the other reasonably sized vehicles that people turn into motorhomes, or tiny domiciles on wheels, all that, is this box can be detached, and it can be set down, and it could still have all of the amenities that are built into it separate and free from the vehicle, if I were to choose. The thing that makes this so easy is just this right here. You can see this bolt right here. It's a U-bolt. So as you take a look, you can see it goes up and over and around, and it clamps down. There's another one right here, and as I go to the back of the vehicle, we're gonna see, there's a good spot to see these without too much glare. We're gonna see two more. There's one here and there's one here. Now, mind you, it would take some heavy equipment, but this box could come off of this truck really easily. And it could be set down someplace where it could live semi-permanently, and that vehicle could be used for something else, anything else really. You could actually sell the vehicle and keep the box, keep the domicile. You could repurpose the vehicle. I could buy another one of these boxes, and if you shop around, you could find a box like that used for, in the neighborhood of $2,000. So I could turn this box back into a basic, simple cargo box truck for not a lot. A lot, but not too much. You could also build yourself a flatbed and just simply haul materials if you wanted. That's really appealing to me because I feel like, you know, with van life and all of that, you know, mobile living, kind of getting rid of the rent and having some place that's basically like motorhome type living, you know, you want to get away from rent. But I mean, how long do you want to do that? You know, I think for me, you know, I don't want to be living in such a small space forever. I basically wanted to change up the situation I was in, living in a place where my rent was over $1,000 a month. I think a lot of people are in that situation and they want to get out of it. But, you know, it's really easy to get out of it. But then what do you do to get out of that, right? Like, you could live in a van, but how do you get out of that? Do you really just go back to renting an apartment? You know? It sort of seems like too much of a loop back to square one. What I'm getting at is, you know, you could buy property, save some money, buy some property, but then you have a couple of options there, you know, vacant land or a property with some sort of structure on it, right? You buy a house. You know, you buy a house with the property that the house is on. I mean, for me, I'm just thinking like, well, yeah, I mean, a house is great. It's expensive though. Land is also great and it's cheap. So, you know, if you have something that you could live in and you have some land you can put it on, yeah, I mean, you can kind of get what I'm saying here. Especially with the thoughts of like kind of keeping it, you know, all in that DIY kind of thing, right? You built something, you want to build more stuff. Why not, you know, maybe start simple, you know, you build yourself a concrete pad, you put the box on it and you have another little extension of that so you have a place to park, right? So you could park your truck on like a little mini concrete pad, not a full driveway if you don't want to go all that, you know, just a place to have something level, park on somewhere level, you know, and then maybe build a shed, right? This is something that you could do, someplace for storage, like a mini workshop, you know, someplace that you could put solar on, have some power, have some lights, have the basic stuff, place to lock up your gear, and you know, kind of expand in that way. You know, if you've got property, you've got a truck to haul things with, you've got a shed where you can kind of get some building done or store some tools, you know, who's to say? I mean, you know, then the next step in my mind is, you know, you build like a pole barn, you know, you get yourself like a small garage, you know, maybe build a garage, just a freestanding garage, and turn it into a shop, right? And then with that, you've got property, you've got a place to live, you've got a vehicle that